Well, it's been a while, but welcome back to 340 Paddler. Today I want to talk about training. Of course, here we are coming up to the second largest holiday of the paddling year. Yes, we are coming up to registration, which has been bumped back 8 hours and will happen at 8 a.m. or will open at 8 a.m. on January 1st. And the first thing most of us will think about is getting aspirin because we are probably hungover. The second thing we will think about is training. And that's what I want to talk about today. And I should say, I am from Wisconsin. I don't do a lot of training in the winter. So I do some other off-water training, which we'll cover a little bit. But I should also say that I am not in any way trained to be a trainer. I am a college professor. So this is all from experience. Please listen to your doctor, trainer, or whoever has far more knowledge than I do. But let's get into this. First of all, many of us are facing this situation as I record this today is about 0 degrees up here in Wisconsin. We have light snow and ice on all of the lakes, which means I'm not out paddling. So let's start talking about what we can do. First of all, cardio. Probably one of the most important things you can do is get into a cardio routine. And most of us think of swim, bike, run. There are, of course, other varieties out there. The easiest would probably be something like a couch to 5K, where you're building yourself up to about a 30-minute run. And you want to do this slowly. You don't want to get overtraining problems. You don't want to get Achilles tendonitis or anything like that. So take your time working up. Take January and February working up to it, to that 30-minute mark. And then you can increase it a little bit as the year continues, as you get closer and closer to the 340. You can also use a bike, a rower, a kayak ergometer, any of those. What you're looking for is really a time frame. You want to work up to probably about 30 minutes. I would say that's about the minimum cardio you should be doing. That's going to have a significant impact. Again, I'm not a trainer, but that's my experience, is that you kind of need to get to that 30-minute mark, then you can build from there. And building cardio efficiency, building cardio fitness is going to take probably about 6 months. So it's something you really want to start in January. We also deal with strength. Now, strength training can be very important for some people and completely useless for others. We all have strengths and weaknesses. So when you think about a strength training routine, first of all, find a routine that's going to work for you. For some of us, it's going to be body weight. For others, it's going to be going to the gym and, sort of traditionally pumping iron. There's a lot of ways you can go with this. But focus primarily on your weaknesses. And as paddlers, we need to focus on our shoulders and keeping our shoulders healthy and in good shape. We also want to deal with core and back because those are the major muscle groups we're going to be using during the race. Don't worry about your biceps. Your biceps shouldn't be doing anything if you're paddling properly. Then we have interval training. Now, interval training is very important, and it's something you would add later on after you've built up to about being able to do about 30 minutes of cardio, and you get to the point of having reasonable technique. You can start getting into interval. And interval training, a lot of us do it on the water or on ergometer. You could do it on a rower. You could do it running, whatever it's going to be. But the basic idea is that you're going to be building from interval to interval. So these are usually short. One of the workouts I do is 1 minute by 1 minute. So what I'll do is for a 20-minute segment, I will paddle normally, sort of a medium pace, for 1 minute and then sprint as hard and as fast as I can for 1 minute. And then simply paddle for another minute and then sprint again for another minute. And I'll do that for 20 minutes. And that will not only help you with technique, but it will help you with speed, strength, and stamina. You can always build up from there. But interval training is incredibly effective, incredibly useful, and a lot of us use it for the 340. Now, everyone at this point is thinking about physical fitness, getting the muscles, getting everything else that you need. But there's a reason certain people win the 340. There's a reason Brad Daniels won it last year, and Joe Mann the year before, and going back, Ryan Slebos, etc. It's because these people have grit. And grit is not something that I can give you. It's not something you can purchase. Grit is what's going to push you through the race when you invariably hit the rough time. And it's something you want to work on in training. In other words, instead of giving up on that last interval, make sure that you get it finished. When you sit there and feel like you can't run another mile, make sure you get that other mile. And that's going to help build this sense of grit so you can get to that finish line. Because no matter how much you train, no matter how good you can curl or you can paddle, it's not going to help you push off from the ramp at Cooper's Landing. It's not going to help you push past Jefferson City or whatever else you're trying to do while you're out there. So you need to work on the mental grit as well. But this hopefully is enough to get you rolling for the 340. I will be talking about training a little bit more as the year continues. I will be back to the videos on a regular basis, 1 or 2 a week from now through the race. So until next time, questions, comments, concerns, quarrels, qualms, quandaries, curse words, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, this is 340 Paddler, hoping that you keep your paddle in the water. This video brought to you by the South Dakota Kayak Challenge. Have you ever been paddling and just had that stiff leg feeling? Have you ever thought, I really wish I could get out of this boat and carry it for the next 5,000 meters? Have you ever done a repair on your boat, but you just didn't want to sand it yourself? Well, at South Dakota, we've got you covered. Yes, we have sandbars galore. We have 400 grit sandbars, 1,500 grit sandbars, even 2,000 grit sandbars. The South Dakota Kayak Challenge, 50 miles of sand followed by a 20-mile race. Registration starts January 1st.